Hi everyone, welcome to City of Vilcabamba. So first thing about this level is that the first half has many different possible routes and strategies. So the video will be a little bit longer for this section, just for me to explain, which way to go and how to do certain routes. Basically just depends on how hard you want to make it and how much time save you're going for. The beginning, however, is basically the same. We're going to run forward and just kill the wolf on our left here. Gonna turn left, take a back step. Now at this point, after you kill the first sleeping wolf, there are 3 wolves that we want to kill. If we don't kill these wolves for whatever reason, we need to kill them by the second half of the level. Now, RNG can be a little bit of a factor here, so if you don't kill the 3 wolves here, because sometimes they hide behind a pillar or run in opposite directions, you just have to remember that, so you kill the remaining ones by the half of the level. However, normally what happens is the 3 wolves come to you. So there's 2 wolves on the right and 1 wolf on the left, like this. And from here, I'm going to be explaining 3 ways to get into the room we need to go in and 3 ways to get out. And that room has the silver key and the golden idol we need to beat this level. If you want to learn this level the fastest, I highly recommend just checking out Entrance Easy and Exit Easy and all the other sections, just not the hard and the medium, because in my opinion, these strategies are a lot harder than this time save that they offer, so they're not that worth it, and also they're quite tricky to learn when you're first starting out. So I will start from the hard strategies, however. So for hard and medium entrance to the key room, you do need to kill these 4 wolves because they can push you when you're doing the setup. So you come over here, trigger this bat. Now you want to set up on this corner. It's similar to the corner bug, like in the advanced tutorial. We want our right foot slightly to the right, and I like the lineup of this plant, like right on top of Lara's head right now. I like to cover about half of it like this. Now we want to jump twice and then hold grab so we fall down like this. Once we reach the ground, I'm going to hold walk and forward and right until the camera majorly changes, so that we'll see like the wall rather than regular camera like this. So now we're going to tap forward and right until again the camera majorly changes like this. Now we're going to tap forward and left until the camera majorly changes. Usually this one takes about 1 to 4 taps, so I go slow. So that took 4. So now we're going to just hold roll and we'll get there. I take out my guns just to prep because we're gonna have to kill a bat, but that's not mandatory. I killed this bat here. So the important thing there is just the taps and the roll. The guns and the action has no influence over that. So you come over here, you just roll, fake grab. Okay, I messed that up. You come over here, silver key. Now, skipped over lots of the kind of specifics of the movement because I assume if you're doing this strategy, you'll understand all of that. So now the medium way to get in is basically the same. However, we're going to do a setup that's more consistent to do that corner. It's about 5 seconds slower, but it should work in many more cases as long as you do everything right. So again, kill the wolves, kill the bat, line up. For this lineup, I like to use 2 dots to the left of the plant. So it's kind of between this crack and the plant on top of Lara's head, kind of like this. So the wall should be right on the left of it. So we're going to jump twice similarly, but instead of pressing grab, we're going to hold up and right, like this. Again, wait until the camera majorly changes, and then we're going to press grab. This, press grab. Now we're falling again, and then we want to roll when we hit the ground. This. Then we want to hold forward and right until we see Lara's head. So I'm going to try and get the timing here. Like this. Now we just hold roll and we're good. Again, I'm going to take out my guns for preparation. So these setups I'm doing a little bit quick, but in some cases you don't have to wait. It just comes with time. Certain ones, when you're moving, you do have to go a little bit quick, but some of them you can kind of just wait. Just try not to, try to do it on a good pace, but you don't have to do it super fast. So same thing here, just kind of come down, roll, over here, roll, silver key. Now finally, we have the easiest way to get to the silver key. Oh, I should mention that the medium way is about 5 seconds slower than the hard way. I think I mentioned that, but anyway. The easy way is about 5 to 10 seconds slower than the medium way, depending on some of your choices of movement and things like that. But basically, we're going to do the same thing. Kill these wolves. We technically don't have to kill all these wolves right now for the easy way, but I just did it just, to make sure. We're going to run to this lever. Oh. There's 2 ways kind of to climb this next room. Simply running jump, some steps here, turn, running jump here. Right. But if you stumble or anything, that's not worth it. You can just climb. Like if you come through this door here, you can just climb. It's no big deal. Now this step will reset our jump sequence when we pass it, if you saw that in the advanced tutorial. So we could there's 2 ways again. Again, it's very personal and up to you. You can do a running jump here and swan dive to the left. So a few things, first of all, actually. So this way is slightly slower than the way I'm going to show, but it's a lot safer. Try not to hit these collapsing tiles because they can ruin your easy exit if you're doing the easy exit. But even if you're not doing the easy exit, they will slow you down. So you just swan dive to the left here, and then you go to this block. Or there's a slightly more optimal sequence. So when you come up here, jump here. So we're going to, basically we're going to delay our running jump by 1 step, and normally we don't have the distance, so we're gonna have to curve diagonally a bit like this, and then we want to standing jump to the side so that we cancel the stumble like this, and we running jump to the end. You do lose a little bit of health, but that shouldn't matter. So this is slightly faster, but it's a lot riskier. Yeah, it's up to you. Now you want to pull this block once if you're doing the hard or medium exit, but if you're doing the easy exit, pull it twice. Now, just some quick things about the medium and hard exit. You want to come to this corner and look approximately 45 degrees, standing jump forward. We call this the crack bug because you simply just go through. You just running jump, keep going, and then you just pick up silver key. Right. However, you have to be careful when doing that crack bug, because if your position and or angle is slightly off, you can enter what we call the void, and that's basically nothingness or some weird space where 99.9% of the time Lara is stuck there forever. Basically rip your run and you have to reset or load. Now if you're doing the easy exit later on, you're going to want to pull this block twice, as I mentioned. So you just kind of backstep here, go over it again, just do some jumps. See on the right, you get this running jump to the left here, over here. Now I skipped a lot over many of the specifics of the kind of running jump sequences and so forth getting here. It's because they're not overall too important and you'll learn them over time. I'm not going to spend too much time over those. I just want to get the major strategy and the buttons to press and so forth for the glitches down. So anyway, key to idle, you simply walk, run and stay on the right, running jump, and you can run or roll onto this idle here. Okay, now for this hard exit, if you can consistently do it, I would say the first try, I highly recommend doing another exit. So we're going to do a new glitch called the shelf bug, and most likely, if you're a little bit slow, there'll be at least one bat here, so you'll have to kill. Now the easiest way is to make this lineup, and the lineup I use is Lara's right shoulder on the line, like this, the line on the pattern of the wall. So that's the position we need, and then we need the right angle. So we're gonna use the skull on the left wall, the first skull on the left wall, and we want the corner right in front of Lara to block that skull's nose, like this. Now all we need to do is standing jump forward and we'll teleport to the top. Generally roll, and then you just jump over here and just make a quick save just to show. If you want to keep running jumping, you can curve left like this, and you should not get a stumble, but it's very easy to get a stumble if your movement isn't very precise. You can hit, well, you can miss the jump like that, or you can hit this top piece near the ceiling. So just watch out for that when you're running jumping like this. So that's the hard exit. I'm going to just do it one more time. So when you pick up the gold idol, generally either want to backstep or do a roll, and then quickly line up. And you want to kill as many bats as you see, because even if they don't interrupt you doing this trick here, they will bother you later on. Okay, so for the medium exit, it's pretty similar. We're gonna come to this corner, and again kill the bat here. If you're fast, you might be able to get it, but if you fail once or whatever, it'll probably just keep pushing you and hurting you, so it's really annoying. So you want to come to this corner. We're going to do a corner bug variant. So we want this first corner, like the one right in front of Lara, to be slightly left of the corner, the far corner, like in the far left there. So like corner matches up now. We want a little bit left like this. Now we want to jump twice and then hold roll, and we'll just get it there. Now if you get this roll timing really perfectly, you don't have to do a full roll. Let me try it here, like this, but it can be a little bit difficult. So as long as you hold roll, you'll always get it through. So it'll be something like this. You just want to running jump, and then from here it's almost the same, but you can just do a standing jump, however, and you just won't stumble. There's also, if you do this way, you can pick up this med if you would like, on in the dark that some people miss. Okay, so that's the medium way. The easiest way, it requires no extra glitches. We're going to just come out here. You can do a running jump on this top area. It's very slightly faster, but it makes the sequence a little bit harder. So what I recommend is just coming down here, and once you reach the ground, so let's say you grab the idol, you're coming out of here, you're holding forward, just hold jump from here, and you'll get the sequence every time. So what you want to do is jump onto the block, onto the collapsible tile, and then onto the top here. Depending on your position and angle, like always, you may have to curve more left or right, but that's the general idea. Now there are some ways to recover if these tiles are broken. So when you come in, if you're doing this easy way, you may have broken one tile or another, but as long as both of them are not broken, you can still get out. So first of all, so let's say this first one is broken, like this. What you can do, So let's say, you come over here. What you can do is just run and grab, and then just climb up like normal. And then you can standing jump, or you can climb, like you can run forward and then climb this. And if the other tile is broken, you can just do the same thing. Like you could just do the exact same strategy. It shouldn't actually affect you. Maybe curve left a little bit, but it shouldn't affect you at all. And then so once you get up here, you can do a standing jump, aim to the left here, because we want to hit the ceiling to cancel your stumble. And then we want to turn left, do a running jump, curve a little bit left here so you can perfectly angle onto the silver keyhole. So that's the keyhole. There's many ways, as I just explained, to get to this position. Find a way that works for you. Of course, the hardest ones save the most time by a little bit, but when you're first starting out, I highly recommend just doing easy for both the entrance and the exit. Maybe the medium exit if you messed up the easy exit, but anyway, so you find yourself here. Remember that you need to kill all the wolves and as many bats as possible. So by now you should have killed 4 wolves. If not, you still have a little bit time left to kill those wolves. And any bat you see along the way, just kill them, because they could potentially cause harm to you in this next room. So again, keyhole, you want to turn. Many times the bats will be somewhere here, like this. And depending on how slow you are and which bats you've killed along the way, they could be closer. But same with wolves. But basically, you just want to kill all of them here. You want to come over here, do a running jump past this doorway. So don't do a running jump right away, but just do a running jump like this. Oh, okay. Well, that was really bad. Actually, I should save. So let's say I do the keyhole. Turn here. Running jump, another running jump, and kill this wolf on the right, kill this wolf on the left. And here's your last chance to kill any wolves that you haven't killed. Those are mandatory. The bats are optional, but any that are somewhat close to you, like if they're in this room right now when you're approximately here, I would kill them. Now, you have to be careful over here, because don't go too far. For the glitch we're going to do, it's this tile. Yeah, as you saw, I just woke them up. So don't go too far. So if you're here, they just stay asleep, but if you come over here, they wake up. For the purpose to demonstrate this next glitch, I'm going to just kill them. You could actually do this too, but it's up to you. Also kill any bats again. So before we learn the next glitch, the QWOP, you have to look at buffer, because it's how we're going to set up the QWOP. Now, if you press inventory and press inventory to unpause or like go back to the game, notice that there's a small animation. So what we can do when we're in the inventory is just hold inventory, or once you press it to unpause, start holding it. So press hold. So as you can see, we went into the game for a small amount of time. This is actually exactly 2 frames, so we can use this to our advantage because we can time exactly 2 frames of input using this technique. So for example, if I unpause and before it gets to the game I hold right and inventory, then it will come back into the inventory and we will have advanced 2 frames. I'll know I've given Lara 2 frames of the right input. So like for example this. So now we can see Lara's is turning right a little bit. I know that's exactly 2 frames. So this works for basically any input you want to do, forward for example, and jump and everything. So that's really important. You need to get a hang of this because we're going to use 2 of them in the setup of the next glitch, and you need this in order to do this glitch. So just keep practicing. Basically, most important thing to know is when you press inventory to get out of inventory, there's this small window, right? So if I press it right now, you see the small animation. So during the animation, you can press any controls. You're not in the game yet. So, that's your time to set up what input you want to be buffering. So let's say one buffer forward would be I press inventory, then I hold forward and inventory like this. And once you get the hang of it, it's very easy because there's no room for error. You're just holding on to the buttons. There's no manual timing or anything. So now that we have got the buffer, let's get to the QWOP. So want to begin by this entire setup for this glitch called the QWOP is extremely precise. So if you do anything that's not part of the setup, just reset the whole thing and try again, because you're not going to get the glitch. So first thing we want to do is this line up with this little ledge over here. So you don't have to be perfectly lined up, because you can perfectly line up by just pressing right side step like this. So you don't have to manually be like, oh, okay, so foot there. You can just, the side step will do it for you as long as you're above like this. Then right side step, it will put you in the right position. Now, you want to be facing forward. So, for example, I can spam right side step to make sure I'm, I spam forward and right side step to make sure I'm in the right position. And then I can hold forward and grab to climb up. Now, if you can't climb up, it just means your angle slightly to the right. You just want to tap left a little bit and climb up, just like this. So this is the only maybe mistake you could do in not getting her position correct. But everything else after this should be pretty smooth. Just follow the inputs and your position will be the same. But even this should be pretty clean. Just line yourself up and climb pretty straight on. So from here, we want to press back and roll. We press back first, then when we land, we can roll. So we're facing the opposite way, basically straight on, and we want to do a running jump. Now, if you didn't kill the wolves, you have to do the rest with relative haste. You can't, wait the whole time, but just so you know, you don't have to jump right away. Or you can't do once you do the running jump, the next input is a right side jump. You can do this right away, but you can wait a little bit too. Actually, let me reset this, because if you save and load, your camera can be changed a little bit. So like this. Oh, okay. Let me save from this other position. So I know this position is good. Do this. So immediately I can just side flip right. That's what we want to do. But from this one, we do have to wait before our next input. So as you can see, Lara kind of crouches when she lands. Wait until she stands up like this. Now at this point, now we can do the next inputs. I will have the inputs below, by the way, so if you just need the inputs visually, you can have that. But we're going to do one buffer right. So remember, unpause, then immediately hold right and pause like this. That was one buffer right. Now we're going to do one buffer forward. So the same thing, except holding forward and inventory this time. Okay, so now this is a little bit tricky part, but I'm going to show it through some mistakes first. So we're not going to buffer anymore, but when we unpause, we want to be holding forward, right, and jump all at the same time. Okay, so unpause and then hold forward, right, and jump before it gets into the game, like this. So she'll have this weird step, and then you'll, hit the wall. But as long as you saw that weird step, then you most likely got the glitch. However, we don't want to run into the wall. We want to towards the left. So once you pass the corner and you see that weird step, you need to stop holding right and you need to start pressing left so you don't hit the wall. So again, I'm gonna unpause and then hold forward, right, and jump. And then once I pass the corner, approximately, I'm gonna tap left to aim myself. Like this. So I'm aiming myself like this. And you also want to be holding forward for the first section. Once you land in this position, you get this weird glitch. We call it the QWOP because it looks like the movement from the game QWOP, if you know that game. Once you're in this position, you don't need to be holding forward, but while you're setting it up, you do. Otherwise, you go really slow and you can't do the next part. Again, forward running jump, right side jump, right buffer once, right buffer forward once, and then forward right jump, aim left a little bit, right like this. So, and then you get this movement. Now there's a few specifics of this movement, of like what you can do, what you can't do, what makes you get out of it, but I'll leave that for you to experiment, because for the run is very simple. We just direct Lara over this hill over here to the middle door. Now we want to be in the middle or the left and hold grab. So when this movement ends, we'll teleport to the other side. Make a save here. So again, I'll do it one more time, but just some summarizing. Okay, this setup is very precise. You need to get the position correct, you need to do the inputs right, you need to do the buffers right, and then if you haven't killed the wolves, you have to kind of avoid the walls, because if they push you, very rarely, but sometimes they can push you into a wall, you get stuck and you get out of it. But basically you have to go over there, go to the middle one. So I'll do it one more time. This, back roll, running jump, side jump right, one buffer right, one buffer forward, forward right jump, aim. At this point I don't need to hold forward, but so you can just let go. Aim middle or left of the door, hold grab. Now we want to aim to middle or left because of the next sequence. Again, I'll just have all this posted below in the description in case you just want a quick the description of the inputs. But basically we're gonna do just jump right away, running jump, 2 steps, running jump, standing jump, to. If you want to find your own way to lever, that's totally fine. These are just optimal sequences that we know of right now. As long as you get the major tricks going so that you can, do the major glitches that consist of the major time saves, that's what's most important. And then once you are on this lever, you want to hold sidestep, like left sidestep or right sidestep, doesn't matter, because when you're on a collapsible tile, or like trapdoor, whatever similar to that, you can teleport to the bottom by holding sidestep like this. Now we just want to swim, and it's just the basic end of the level. Come over here to the right, and when you get out, here's another optimal sequence. You want to be on the left of this guy's head, approximately here. The head, I mean the wall. So you just climb up over here. For the sequence here, forward right jump, just running jumps constantly. That's 4 running jumps all the way to the lever here. Come over here. Now this part is a little bit important. As you may know, there is a bear down there, so we want to get to keyhole right away. Normally we do a running jump, something like this, approximately. We get to the keyhole. The bear may touch you, but as long as you're above approximately a quarter of your health, you should be totally fine. On average, he doesn't even hurt you anyway, although he could. So be careful again of taking out guns too early here. And you just want to turn, find your way past the bear, end of the level. So again, from this lever here, just want to running jump, and normally we do something like this. So by hitting the ceiling in that fashion and coming down here, we can cancel the stumble onto the keyhole. But if you do stumble, it can be very difficult sometimes to recover. So let's say I accidentally stumble like this, the bear will most likely go ham on you. So you either have to kill it or just, you know, run backwards or anything. You can see in that short amount of time, like, he took away all my health. So it's really important there to try and jump right onto the keyhole. There's a few ways to do it. You don't have to do it this way. You can even get a little bit closer and then do a standing jump and grab, just to make sure. But just be careful of stumbling here, because it's so easy to die to the bear if you do. And I guess one more thing about the QWOP again, I just want to talk about it one more time, because this is the biggest thing for this level. It's the biggest time save that you have to do. Like, for the entrances and the exit, for the silver key and the golden idol, you can do the easy way, you barely lose any time. But for this QWOP glitch, it skips going to the left and right door. It's huge, you need to do this. It's very precise though, so again, you just need to practice your buffers and your exact inputs. If you do anything as much as tap right accidentally when you're doing the setup, so let's say, you know, I come over here, roll, I jump over here, and before I side flip, I like tap right. Now this is not going to work, so if I side flip here, right, I one buffer right or forward, something's going to happen wrong, such as this, or, you know, you might jump like this or something. So just practice on that. It's the hardest thing in this level for sure, for new players to get over. But once you realize it's the same inputs every time, it gets easier and easier. So this time there are no pickups, maybe one large med, and you really shouldn't be using any meds, because normally you wouldn't even have any in this level. And I'm going to do the times, like expected times and everything, in the description. I don't want to drag this video any longer. So yeah, I hope this video helped you out. I'll see you next time in Lost Valley.